Hey guys, Jack Small Damage Station back into you all again with another video today. Today's gonna be fun. We're gonna be playing the original Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy. Now, for those of you that are asking, where's the Rehydrated review that you've been teasing forever? Well, it's been taking a long time to make, and I want to really give that one my absolute all. So, since all three of these games are very similar, I'm just gonna blow through each of them very quickly. I'm gonna give them a score. I'll try and make some jokes, and we'll see what else. Also, stay tuned to the end, because my buddy Dude the Hedgehog, please go subscribe to him. He's an awesome dude. He will be telling you his thoughts of these games at the very end of the video. So, with that in mind, guys, let's start playing. Let's start with Sonic 1. And of course, as you guys may or may not already know from my live streams, I'm playing it on the Mega Collection Plus for the Xbox on the good old Xbox 360. So, with all that said, let's jump right in. Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 was released in 1991 for the Sega Genesis. It was Sega's answer to Mario. The premise is very simple. So you play as Sonic the Hedgehog, who has to stop an evil doctor from enslaving these cute little animals in robots. Now, positives about the game. Well, I like the premise. The art style is cool, the graphics look really good, and I'm not surprised this was the game that came with the Sega Genesis, because it's one of the best games on the console, along with, of course, the rest of the trilogy. Now, how does it hold up compared to today's games? Well, I'm sure by today's standards, with like all the modern gen graphics and stuff like that, it may not look like much. But trust me when I say that it's still an awesome game. It still has a great amount of challenge to it, and all the zones are really good except for Labyrinth, which has been universally hated for a very good reason. As you can see, I'm playing the special stage right now. Trying to get up here. I always struggle with the special stages in this, because they're so tricky. I need to get to the center. I need to find the chaos level. Problem is, the stupid thing won't stop spinning. And that's what happens. Since it doesn't stop spinning, the special stages in this game are crud. Like, I really do not like them. They are really hard to control and really, really hard to get through. How each zone works is that there is 2 acts where you just speed through it like this. But sometimes you gotta pay attention, because sometimes it's gonna throw curveballs your way like that. Another thing I didn't like about this game is that, unlike 2 and 3, it does not have the spin dash. That is a bit of a complaint, because that move is now so universal to Sonic's moveset, and nowadays, playing something without it is just a little weird. However, for the game that it is, especially for the time, it's excellent. It controls well enough. It's not too hard, yet not too easy. But the special stages, and it has aged a little poorly compared to other games today, but it's just a minor complaint. Aside from that, I still really, really love Sonic 1. It's the one that started it all, and I still can't call it a flat-out bad game, because it did lead on to a really good franchise. And I know it's the cool thing nowadays to hate on this game, but I don't see it. I don't see the hate that this game is garnered. I don't. Because it's the one that started the entire franchise, and whether you like it or not, it's a piece of gaming history. And to this very day, it's still an excellent title, and I still love to play it. It's just sometimes it can be really hard. You gotta get the Chaos Emerald. Come on. Like I said, though, the special stages and other stuff keep it from being amazing. Oh, I just got an extra life. But if you put that aside, no, come on. Ah, I'm so close. Ah! If you guys can get through these special stages, more power to you. I freaking hate these things. Come on. No! And then once you complete the stage, I'm just gonna fast forward here. Sorry, I know this review is very long, and we're only on the first game, but yeah, and then it ends with a boss. The bosses are pretty tricky, or at least some of them. The first one's pretty easy once you know his pattern, and then the rest of them are just pretty meh. If I had a shield there, I would have died. But for what it is, it's a great game. I'm going to give it a final score of 7.5 out of 10 with a plate of chili dogs. It's still a great game. It's still worth any gamer's collection. And like I've said, it's a piece of gaming history. Whether you love Sonic or hate it, you at least got to give it that much. So that's all I have to say. So let me just gonna die really quick, and then we'll move on to Sonic 2. Well, Sonic 1 was a great game in its own right. Sonic 2 is outstanding. Like, this is one of the greatest games of not just the franchise, but of all time. It's just like the original, but just way better. It's the introduction of his buddy Tails, as you can see down here, one of the coolest Sonic characters around, and of course that beyond useful Spin Dash. Seriously, I cannot understate enough how important the Spin Dash is to the game. It's a very important piece of Sonic's history. This makes the game a lot easier to play through. And it gets really quick at points. I do still have nitpicks though. It's not like the greatest game ever or anything like that, but it's definitely far better than the first. It's definitely far improved from the original as well. And it's just an all-around really fun, solid game. I like Tails. I think he's a cool character. I like how the premise is the same as the first, and this is pretty much the first, but it's completely fixed and updated. This game came out only a year after the first one, and considering how Sonic games nowadays usually take a minimum of 3 years, that's pretty crazy. When you really sit down and think about it, that's pretty crazy. So, the fact that they were able to do this in like a year or so is crazy to me. Let's get invincibility, whiz through this. Running through here. Now we got the boss. Go. One thing I don't like about this game is that while the zones themselves are pretty hard, the bosses are way too easy. The only reason I haven't beaten this game is because the zones themselves are harder than the actual game itself. But the bosses with like Eggman here are really, really easy, as you guys have just seen. But yeah, I love Sonic 2. It's an excellent game, and while it is a little overrated, I still think it's a great game. I will give this game a final score of 9.3 out of 10 with 100 golden rings. The only reason it's not a 10 is because of this horrible, horrible zone right here. I hate Chemical Plant, but I'm gonna rant on that another day when I actually live stream the game. So until then, let's say goodbye to Sonic. Right now, I'm gonna find a spot to die. In just a second. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find a place to. Actually, you know what? Let's not end this one with a death because this is a above average game. So yeah, great game. Definitely check it out. And now let's move on to the last of the trilogy, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now there's gonna be a lot of bias here because I know a lot of people think Sonic 2 is the better game, but to me, Sonic 3 is amazing. It's an amazing game that I absolutely love and adore. There's a lot of bias here because, first off, this is the very first game I ever played. I kid you not. This was the very first game I ever played, so there's a lot of bias here. Oh, oops. I forgot, press B instead of A. Whoops. But this one also brings a lot of innovation. I love the art style. I love how you can play as Tails. I love how the game is... I love the game's graphics. They really pushed the Genesis to the absolute limit back in the day. This came out 2 years after the first, and it's a huge improvement on all of them. I love the level design. I love the feel of it. There we go. I love how it consistently, excuse me, I'm trying to think of the word, consistently, awards exploration with things like the special stages and hidden power-ups and all that kind of stuff. I thought I could get that, but apparently not. Let's try that again. And like I said, I love being able to play as Tails without having to go in the multiplayer mode. And apparently the music was also made by Michael Jackson, so that's also another reason. The music in this game is excellent. Like, it is excellent. I love the level transitions, they're nice and smooth. I just love this game, guys, okay? This game gets way too much crap from literally everyone. I think it is far better than Sonic 2. I think they've made so many improvements to it that it's crazy. Like, there are so many improvements to this game compared to the other two. The elemental shields, all the great things about it. Oh man. I just don't know what to tell you guys. I freaking love Sonic 2. And I can understand those that don't, but me personally, it is the best of the trilogy. Now, before you ask, I am not going to, I'm not reviewing Sonic and Knuckles yet. I'm just playing through the original trilogy. I know technically Sonic and Knuckles should count here, but I'm counting just Sonic 1 through 3. Oh, well, I missed the Sonic. Yeah, there's Tails. Overall, love the Sonic trilogy. I recommend all three of them very easily. They still hold up very well, and they're some of the best games ever made. By the way, the score for Sonic 3 is a 9.8 out of 10 with a Master Emerald. Love the game. Pick them up if you haven't already. And now I'm going to let my buddy Doom the Hedgehog take it over from here. So until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Please go subscribe to him, and I hope you enjoy hearing his thoughts on Sonic 1 through 3. Until then, I'm Justin Motive Animation Station. Remember, it's your one-stop destination. Until next time, have a great day, and take care. Doom, the stage is yours, my friend.
From first to second, I guess, because the third one I don't know too well. Starting out with the first one, Sonic the Hedgehog, which was actually the first Sega game that I ever played. That being said, Mario was the first game I ever played, but for Sega, it was Sonic the Hedgehog, the original one. Because I had a Sega Genesis, and the whole theme of it was the controllers, anyways, was Sonic. I played the game a few times. I never beat the game, because I always got stuck at Marble Zone 2, I'm pretty sure. But for the time that it was made, it was a good game. The graphics was the best they could do at the time. Let's see what else. It was, for me, it was a new type of game. Like, Mario was sort of like it, but it was different because there was just something about, like, the power-ups that were different. Like, you had the invincibility and the speed shoes. And the speed shoes were my favorite because just when I did play it, I never figured out what it did. All I know was it made me go faster. And I was always one person that just wanted, in any game, was just running most of the time. If I wasn't running, I was doing something else. But just the new style of game for me, anyways, was kind of cool. I liked it. In terms, now I know this isn't. We're talking about the original trilogy, and I know that. But this one, to me, it isn't the best, but it is a close. It's at least in the top 5. Boss battles. Now, I only got to one of the boss battles, but the one that I did do, well, the first couple times I tried it, I didn't really know what I was doing. But the more that I played, the more that I realized what I was supposed to be doing. And that's the thing about the Sonic games, it never tells you what you're supposed to do. It just, gives you, it throws you into the boss battle, and you kind of have to figure out what to do. I failed multiple attempts, but I finally figured out what to do. And the first level isn't too hard. The only problem was I loved 2-player games. And this was a single-player only game. But pretty good. It was a new type of game for me, so that might have something to do with it. But other than that, it was. And everybody's always talking about, like, the loops and everything. That does make sense. But if you look at a loop-de-loop or loop now in real life, you see that it doesn't go straight in on itself. It's curving to the side. And same thing with the chemistry plant. Now, the only reason I got to that, and that was the second one, was the loops in it went straight down. And everybody said that he would be hitting himself on where he was just at, but he wouldn't, because it would be off to the side a bit, and that's why. And just the pure secrets that, the ones that I did find were kind of funny. Well, not funny, but kind of cool that a game, because see, I wasn't about really secrets. I was more of a person that was more of just get through the game, or at least try to. Super Mario Galaxy was a game that I was playing too. And that was kind of cool. I'm getting off the topic, but it kind of, because see, at the time I was playing multiple different games, but this was one that was kind of different from the rest. It was set apart. Now, at the time, more games had came out, but that was the only one that I could find. Until eventually I got Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is the next game I'm going to be reviewing, and it was, I liked it. This wasn't, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 wasn't the best. It was because, one, this was the first one to have actual two-player. Because you had Tails. And that also gave me the possibility to also play as Tails. Now, Tails was, as I said, with like the boss battle, you kind of had to figure out what he could do, really. Flying took me a while to figure out. Same thing with spin dashing. It took me a while to figure out how, but once I finally got it, it's fine. The graphics are about the same, but still pretty cool. And one thing that I forgot to mention was the music. The music was actually pretty good. And an iconic music at that. I mean, like, you play that song, somebody might not know what it's from, but they're gonna know the song at least. And if they don't, okay, you know, Sega, I mean, that's the only game Sega made that I even know. So, and then with that one, the levels were a bit different. Not like too different, but it was different. And I never beat the Chemical Plant on that one because, like, the way that the level was built, there was multiple different ways you could go. I could find. Until eventually I got Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is the next game I'm going to be reviewing, and it was, I liked it. This wasn't, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 wasn't the best. It was because, one, this was the first one to have actual two-player. Because you had Tails. And that also gave me the possibility to also play as Tails. Now, Tails was, as I said, with like the boss battle, you kind of had to figure out what he could do, really. Flying took me a while to figure out. Same thing with spin dashing. It took me a while to figure out how, but once I finally got it, it's fine. The graphics are about the same, but still pretty cool. And one thing that I forgot to mention was the music. The music was actually pretty good. And iconic music at that. I mean, like, you play that song, somebody might not know what it's from, but they're gonna know the song at least. And if they don't, okay, Sega... I mean, that's the only game Sega made that I even know. So... And then with that one, the levels were a bit different. Not like too different, but it was different. And I never beat the Chemical Plant on that one because, like, the way that the level was built, there was multiple different ways you could go, and I kept getting lost and I couldn't figure out where I was. I'd be going to the same place over and over and not knowing it. But now that I look on it now, or have watched other people play it or anything, it kind of makes sense. I've seen, the other levels, ones that I certainly wouldn't be able to do, but was different. And actually, a little fun fact here that I didn't even know till I read something about it when I was doing facts about the Sonic the Hedgehog games, that his shoes is actually somehow, I don't see the resemblance at all, but is based off Michael Jackson's, I think it said, boots. Now, if you can see it, good for you, but I don't see it. I'm not saying it isn't, but I just don't see it. I mean, the colors are off. That might be what it is. But other than that, I can't see of any other reason why I can't see it. Because it seems like that's like, for me, that's in an iconic shape. So it should be easy to spot, but I can't see it. I don't see it. That's a little off topic, but it does still have to do with Sonic, but whatever. As I said before, the third game was a bit different, so I can't really tell much about that. Now, I know I could do research and record an extra part to this and just add it on, but I would rather do this all in one take so it sounds the same, it is the same, than having to do it multiple takes. But after this, if he doesn't want to do more, I will probably go back to the normal, comic dub reaction, and hopefully trying to find someone to do the comic dubs with me. But other than that, that's gonna about do it. And I know this probably will be a long video because we're each doing our own reviews and then how that's gonna work out. And after this, I'm not saying I will for sure, but I might end up doing a live stream. And the live stream is, as I said before, I do write, and I'm working on one right now. So I thought, I can live stream. So why not, after this, and, once everybody, everything settles down, why not do a live stream and let y'all, kind of help me, Now, I've seen how live streams are. There's so many comments that I'm not going to be able to get to all of them. But trying to think of anything else. That's gonna about do it. And I know this isn't what we're doing, but I just figured that, and he'll be seeing this before anybody, but just that I think at the end of the video that I think we should have some closing words about, either what we thought, and I know that he did a video of his schedule, and I don't have one yet, because every day could be different, because I don't wake up at the same time every day, so, and everything like that. But that's going to do it. Now, if this isn't how this was going to go, then I will have to re-record this, and there's no point of even talking anymore. I don't know why. But that's it. So, as always, I will see whoever sees the next video in the next video. See ya, and have a good day. Or night, doesn't matter.